Okay, is this thing on? Hi, I'm Chris, maybe better known as the Norwegian in Finland. I'm a Norwegian living in Finland. I'm a Norwegian in Suomi. Online, as I've been doing plenty of TikToks and Instagram Reels, but I thought I'd be brave enough to throw myself out on this YouTube adventure because I love watching YouTube. I love watching people talk about their life and stories, which has inspired me to do so much stuff that I wanted to share a little bit about my life. And hopefully, yeah, if you're curious about Finland specifically, then this video is for you. I moved to Finland in 2021 and I wanted to talk about some of the things that maybe have surprised me the most. You know, culture shocks. We're sitting around this kitchen table and let's just dive in, I think. I think the first immediate one, it's not so deep, is that in Finland everything is Sunday open. My brain is so used to that when Sunday comes around, it's like, should we go to the cinema or stay home? You know, that's pretty much the options. But here, you can do your weekly shopping or continue your life as normally, even on Sundays, which added a whole new element to the weekend, because weekend for me has always been Friday you're tired, Saturday you do your errands and stuff, and Sunday nothing. And while that might still be a thing here in Finland, it certainly has options. You can have your Saturday be your brain rot day and then Sunday be a productivity day. I especially fell for Prisma, actually to such a degree that that's actually one of the videos on my other channels that very grew viral because I was so captivated. Prisma! I can't believe there's a place bigger than my hometown open 24/7 that sells everything. Oh my god. What's it? By the fact that you have this multi-floor level giant store that is open 24/7 in which you can do your groceries with an absolute insane selection, as well as pick up a PlayStation or Xbox and a winter jacket, a coat, swimming wear, and you know, whatever you need for your yard, you know, like dirt or something, all in one shopping round, which you can do at like 2 in the morning. To me, it was just insane. And obviously, before I moved here officially, I visited several times, and I don't think a single visit went by without me going, we have to stop by Prisma, I just need to soak in the air. And which is, if you're a Finn watching this or you grew up in Finland, it's like weird, probably, because to you it's just another store, right? Still go as much as I can without being stupid about it. Sauna is huge in Finland, and I think I took for granted just how integrated into their culture it is. There's this Ferris wheel in Helsinki, has a sauna. There is like a sauna boat that'll just float around somewhere where you do sauna. There is actually a Burger King in Finland that has a sauna. Like, you wouldn't believe how common it is, and it's somehow integrated into all their holidays. Like, it's a winter sauna, it's Christmas sauna, it's like midnight sun sauna. I think it's worthy, if you're not used to sauna at all, to just mention that there is like specific words that goes into it. There's rules, or let's call them guidelines, because there's no consequences of breaking a guideline rule. However, you have like löylä, if I pronounce that, which is like the act of pouring water onto the rocks. Everyone's completely nude, if that was ever in question. If I don't do a sauna for a long enough time, like when I took my tattoos for the first time, you needed to wait several weeks to do it. And it had like an emotional impact on my day to sort of have sauna withdrawals to some sense. Another culture shock that I still think about to this day is how humble Finns are about their own language. Like, they know the complexity of their language, they know it's rather difficult. It probably ties in with the fact that it does not share any similarities with the rest of the Nordic languages. When I came here, I knew that if I stayed long enough, there's going to be this underlying expectation that you must learn Finnish. And I think that's appropriate for most countries. If you stay over a longer time, you do take your time to learn it. It's almost a given. And in Norway, for example, it is very much so that if people move in from other countries, it's like, well, they have to learn Norwegian, right? Not that I personally shared that view, because I am perfectly comfortable speaking English, but I know a lot of people are like, well, they live here, so they must speak Norwegian. For Finns, when I've addressed like, hey, I've been like looking for courses, I've been very interested in learning Finnish but it is a very difficult language unless you are very, very interested or perhaps learn very quickly. I noticed that for me it was tricky to learn it, even if the interest was there. You know, Duolingo isn't quite cutting it. It gives you sort of a start, but far from like building sentences and actually use the language, you know. No matter the focus group, if I'm in a party, you know, no matter who I talk to, they're all like, hey, Chris, don't worry about learning Finnish. We know it's hard. All of us speak well English. A large part of the population masters Swedish quite well, Finland svenska, which is an official language in Finland. And Norwegian and Swedish is quite similar, so of course I sort of have one step inside already. Very big of Finns, and I respect that a lot. And it almost encourages me to want to learn it even more because they're so like lean back about it. Like an honorable top of that, I was watching a speech close to Christmas from Stubb, which is the current president of Finland. And when he performed this speech, he like said it in Finnish, Swedish, English, Finnish, Swedish, English, like the whole speech sort of like switched in between. And I was so impressed because at least from what I can remember, that I've not seen that happening by any government officials in Norway, as far as I'm concerned. And I was just like flabbergasted how inclusive that felt. Like I was very interested in this speech because I felt like he also spoke to me. So they are very cool about their language. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about their brands. One of the biggest brands, if not the biggest brand in Finland, is Marimekko, which is a designer one. They make, like you say, this cup, clothing, bed sheets, and everything in between. And I think it's very normal for every Finnish household to have some kind of Marimekko item, rather that be a towel, mugs, dresses. And the fact that it is then a Finnish brand, I think is very cool, that it's so common to have it to sort of support their brand and make sure that, you know, a Finnish brand is thriving. That and Moomin, of course, that is a far wider brand in terms of internationally, thanks to the, you know, cartoons and books and such. But every household also has a Moomin cup around or some other Moomin item. Now, I hope you don't take this as in Norway doesn't carry pride in their brands. That's not what I'm saying. It's just here it's very, very present. And I think that was sort of the first 2 years of my staying in Finland experience, was that I noticed these things, you know, with the sauna, with the Prisma, Marimekko, their language, stuff like that. But I'm very excited to see where this goes forward. I would like to say that by this time next year, I'll be able to not just say random words such as koira and valkoinen and velho, but actually be able to say sentences like "Tämä on mukava iso nainen." That made zero sense. But you see what I mean? Like I want to be able to do more than kiitos. Ole hyvä. I'm gonna go and refill the coffee. There is no coffee here. This is a prop. In videos we use props for security reasons. See you.